and she doesn't know that I'm trans. And she knew me when I was a 24-year-old girl, and she knew me when I was a bride, and she knew me as a young mother with a little baby, and we used to take the baby over there for Halloween. And now I'm a man, and
I am a man. I'm a trans man, but I'm not a binary trans man. And there's that little distinction that's hard to explain, but is very important to my identity and my perception of myself. The way that I can kind of explain it is that a cis man has not experienced the expansiveness of gender that I have experienced. A cis man has lived his whole life in this box. I lived way over there for years.
Okay.
And I know what it's like to be treated as a girl in society. And I know what it's like to be standing here like this at work and have one customer come up to me and confidently call me she, her. And the next customer come up and confidently call me he, him. I know what it's like to be perceived as every gender. I know what it's like for someone to look at me and be deeply confused about what they're seeing.
Sure.
I don't fit quite in that little box of man, of male, of cis. That's not something that I've ever experienced, and I don't want to. I want to have this masculine base. I want to create this person. I want to feel like I'm comfortable in my body, and then I want to expand off of that. I want to explore gender again.
My God.
That is so important to me. And I'm more than a man. I'm not just male. I don't quite fit in that box. I can stand right next to it, but I'm not gonna go in because I don't fit. It's not quite right. Girl is way over there, right? But I'm right here, right next to that. And I'm gonna explore. And I hope somebody understands. And I hope somebody has that same feeling, because I think it's fairly common. And I see a lot of people with a similar experience, but we just don't know how to explain it.
Okay, well, I'll just explain it to you. Hold on for a sec. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel today. I'm just going to do some random TikTok-y weirdness, because all obviously about the craziness going on around gender and what's a man, what's a woman. Well, mostly it's about what's a woman, and blah, blah, blah. I just found so many, I just can't even believe it. So that being said, thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. Thanks for everything you do to make this channel grow. It really does mean a lot to me. And together we're really going back to reality. These people they're losing it. We know they already lost it, but they're losing it even more. They're grasping, like I say, at straws to try to keep themselves afloat in their nonsensical space of supposedly reality. So with that, let me just explain to this person here why we don't understand, because you're making no sense. Okay, so you all know that I say, yes, I'm a biological female. I'll never be a man. I don't know what it means to be a man. I pretty try to make it super simple for you. I've actually done some things that this person is trying to explain, walked in both worlds. People perceive me as a man now. I walk in that space. I'm not a man, so I don't really understand what that means. I don't use the word cis and trans. The thing that this person is not understanding is, dude, you're just a lesbian. Like, chill out. Like, stop it. I don't really want to be a man, but I'm a trans man, but I don't relate to any of that. You all know that I wish I was a man. I wish I was born a man. I wish I could be a man. I'm not in those things, so I had to really change my appearance in order to walk the world. I'm not a man. We're not even in that same space. But this person is trying to gaslight and twist words. And, you know, why aren't you just stay a butch woman then? I don't understand why you have to go to all these lengths to circle back around and around and around. But really, in reality, I'm just a trans man who's not really a man, who really, I lived over here as a girl, but now I'm a man, but I'll never be a man. But the words are like they're gaslighting themselves on some level. It's like, oh, wow. I feel like there's this, I really do feel like there's this sort of, well, as you all know, oppression Olympics, but more of this desire to be better than everyone else, or to live in this space that you'll never know what it means to be this, or you'll never know what it's not. That's never been what transsexualism is about. It is literally about living as a man or a woman. That's it. It's real basic, okay? And we know we're not, and that's that. These people have taken it to such a length and literally made a left turn and went off the cliff. And this is what's happening to these young people. They're confusing themselves. It's like, what? If you're getting top surgery and taking hormones, pronouns. What is your ultimate goal here? Because it's so bizarre to me that this is even trans, right? And stop invalidating. I'm going to invalidate you. I don't care if you like it or not. I'm going to invalidate you because you've been trying to invalidate me for such a long time, and now we're in this space. So let me bring up. I feel like I'm babbling. Let me bring up this one because this one is really. Oh man, this one really upset me.
One of the reasons why trans people don't like the idea of having to use some sort of convenient magical third space that doesn't exist is because we know that the reason why you want us to use that third space
really
isn't because you necessarily feel unsafe with sharing a bathroom with us. It's because you want us to out ourselves. You want to be able to see in public us go into that third space and go, there's one. There's one of those freaks. That's what you want. Like, just be honest. I will tell you one thing, though. If that ever does happen and we have to go into this apparent third space, I better not catch you in there, sissy. I better not catch you needing a wee. If it ever comes up, oh, please, can I just pop in? Can I just pop in? I need a wee. No. This is the trans one. You are going to wet yourself.
Okay, see the anger? There's so much deep-rooted anger in these trans women. It is crazy. The maleness is coming out full force. No, you don't get to use our bathroom. Well, just make your bathroom, move on. No woman is ever going to use the trans toilet. Why would they do that? Why would they ever use the trans toilet? Number one, you don't want to create space. You want to dominate. I keep telling you all that. They expose themselves. They continually expose themselves. You don't get the right to other people's space just because you're trans. That's literally what the toilet thing is about. We have every right to use your space whether you like it or not. No, you don't. It's literally finalized. So just, can we now move on? Do you realize that their conversation is always just about the toilet? I mean, they're not talking about actual real needs in the world. Like, maybe we need to create some spaces where trans people can have housing and food and blah, 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 and get jobs, which pretty much you can. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that they have this zoned in on this toilet thing should say everything to everyone. They don't care. They just want. They want. And the angry, narcissistic BS of these people is so gross. I'm going to bring up one now that is one of the most angry, narcissistic ones.
So people on the right find me gross. They find trans people gross. Icky. And not for, men on the right wing find us gross. And not for nothing, they also kind of find women gross too. I mean, like period jokes and misogynist jokes and stuff. And it all sort of is like a jumble. But in addition to that, they've been programmed their entire life to do everything they can to not seem feminine. Feminine is the worst thing you could be, right? Speaking of misogyny. So I am both gross, but also triggering. And as somebody who walks the earth as gross and triggering, I will tell you, none of that is my responsibility.
Wow. Just wow.
Not anymore, anyway.
Oh my God, Jeffrey, you're looking a little haggard there. Seriously, you're looking a little bit like maybe you need to take a break off the internet for a little while. So with that, everything this guy said right now is so misogynistic in itself. Doesn't even get it right. And the reason why people have a problem with feminine men is because of people like you who are not even embracing their femininity, whatever. I don't even know if that's really a thing, but you're not. You're like, I'm a they, them trans person. Okay, you're not trans. And also, do you notice that the last one and this one are all talking for trans people? They're always talking for. The reason why you hate trans people, I don't feel hated as a trans person, but then you're going to call me right wing, okay? Then you're going to call me that I'm a this and I'm a that and I'm a bootlicker. And that's the reason why, but hey, let me just say something to you. I live an amazing life. I do not feel hated. I feel hated by people like you, which should say a lot. Okay. So I don't belong to the trans community. I don't belong to your nonsensical, narcissistic, weird, crazy, insane, misogynistic stuff in order to walk the world. I don't have to. Okay. I'm a pretty straightforward kind of person. Okay. And that's why people actually try to coexist with me. All walks of life, by the way, Jeffrey. I don't have just one thing. The people that are disingenuous to me and the most hateful to me are people like you. So get a grip, dude. The reason why the conservatives don't like you is because of that kind of nonsense, okay? And the stuff you keep saying to little kids. So maybe get a grip around what you're doing, and then you'll understand that you can't put stuff like that out on the internet, you creep, even though you're actually exposing yourself.
And she just still doesn't know. And she doesn't know that I'm trans. And she knew me when I was a 24-year-old girl. And she knew me when I was a bride. And she knew me as a young mother with a little baby. And we used to take the baby over there for Halloween. And now I'm a man, and she's turning 90. I don't know. I'm trying to do this gently.
Oh, my God. That one thinks they're a man. They think they're actually a man, and they're talking about their 90-year-old neighbor who knew them when they were a girl and a woman. And you still are, by the way. And I mean, you don't even look like a dude. At least, oh my God, seriously, you see what I'm talking about? And then they have the trans flag wrapped around their neck. Like, what? Oh my God. And then, like, trying to confuse the 90-year-old lady. The 90-year-old lady probably has more wits than you, by the way. The 90-year-old neighbor's like, no, you're a woman. You'll always be a woman. You're not confusing her. She's like, no. I don't. Even the flag, I don't care. You're still a woman to me. Oh, my God, these people are so insane. She doesn't know I'm a man. Can you imagine somebody just, like, actually saying that? I just... The whole trans thing is blowing my mind. The they, them, you don't know anything, Buck. You're a colonizer. You're just white. You just sit down. You're old, like, passing privilege. Like, you're not going to be able to use the men's room. None of that applies to me, by the way. None of it. Zero of it applies to me because I am still going to do everything I've been doing for the last 30 years and no one's going to care. So I don't know what you all are talking about other than that you're making stuff up. You're actually making stuff up in your own head, and then it's just rolling into a space where more people are jumping in on it, and everyone thinks they're trans, looking like that. That person actually thinks they look like a man.
If Mulan was your favorite movie as a kid, I just have one question for you. How's your transition going?
This is what I'm trying to tell all of you. If Mulan was your favorite movie when you were a kid, how's your transition going for you? That is the most indoctrinating statement ever. You see what I'm, it's pure indoctrinate. What does Mulan, the movie, have to do with being trans? There's this indoctrination secretly, like it's subconsciously. So when a young person gets that in their head, they're like, oh, I did like the movie Mulan. That must mean I'm trans. It's this secret culty-like language that's being put into young people's heads. I must be trans. I think this next one, watch.
4 signs that you might be trans. 1, wishing you were born the opposite gender or wishing you could be trans. And this sounds so basic. Everybody's gonna be like, yeah, of course, like, if you're trans, you want to be the opposite gender. But for me, I thought I had to tick all those boxes of, like, having dysphoria, knowing since ever, showing signs when you were a child, and things like that. And I didn't realize that just wanting to be trans or wanting to be the opposite gender was already the essence of what being trans is. The second is thinking that being born a guy is lucky, and all guys are lucky to be born guys.
Yeah.
I thought everybody thought that, but then I realized most cis girls are happy to be born girls.
Wow.
Third is taking more care of yourself if you were born in the opposite gender. For example, I would always tell myself when I was younger, if I was born a boy, I would like take such care of myself. I would like do sports and like buy cool clothes.
Pretty much
and
gender dysphoria.
Make sure always like make a lot of self-care. And also I thought that all the boys wasted their chance of being a boy and that I would do a better use of it. Yeah, that was pretty trans. And fourth.
Here's what I want to say. I don't care like anymore because they just said it at the beginning. Want to be trans, okay? They want to be trans? You hear it? Like, what do I need to be trans? I remember I used to get all these emails from these young people. Buck, I want to be trans. how do I be trans? Does X, Y, and Z mean I'm trans? Like, literally, why are you asking me? Why are you asking me? Why are you not going to a therapist and going through some intensive work to figure out, this should be your last step. But instead, it's like, you can be trans. Literally, they said it. You don't need to have gender dysphoria to be trans. They actually just said that. This is what I know you all know it. Can you imagine how frustrated I am around all of this stuff? These people are just taking on this, if they weren't medicalizing, I don't care, be she, they, Zers, them, pee pee poo poo, no one cares, but that's not what's happening. You are doing top surgery on all these young girls with the most insane scar. And the nose ring. Literally, all of them have a nose ring and scar. It is actually the uniform of trans now. It is body modification. It's not transgender anything.
Hey, I'm Laura Leo. I'm trans non-binary. I use they them pronouns.
Trans
and I have been
non-binary.
on a low dose of testosterone since November 17th
Why?
of 2020. And I haven't really talked about this in a minute, so let's get into it. I use androgel. I use about half a pump a day. Sometimes more, sometimes less. If you want me to talk about dosage, let me know. I can talk about that for far too long. So why have I been on a low dose of testosterone for 3.5 going on 4 years?
Yeah,
for
why?
me, the reason I started testosterone on a low dose and had the intention of being on a low dose of testosterone for a very long time was because I wanted a gender affirming hormone therapy that affirmed my specific gender experience. I'd always known I was non-binary, and I thought I was going to grow up and look a certain way and experience certain things and walk through life being perceived a certain way, and then cue the coming out process when I realized other people did not see that what I was seeing, and there was a disconnect, yada yada yada. But I had very specific goals in mind that I could achieve with testosterone, but very specifically. I wanted the fat distribution specifically in my face. I wanted the muscularity of my body to be perceived a certain way, whether I have or do not have muscle. One of the biggest reasons.
But you don't have muscle. And you actually don't even look very masculine. So you've been 4 years on low dose. It's doing nothing but destroying the inside of your body, because it's not doing anything on the outside of your body. I wonder if these people, and you see this, they're talking to other trans non-binaries, okay? And then are they selling? Well, first, if I was you, I would go to the doctor. I would talk about it. I saw one where this girl, she was like, I didn't really want to talk to my primary care doctor about it because I was too embarrassed. What are you embarrassed about? Why are you taking the testosterone if you're too embarrassed to talk to your doctor about it? That just seems so whack-a-doodle. I can't even believe it. But you see how they're just making it seem like it's literally okay to squeeze a little testosterone on your body and put it here. And I just wanted to achieve some masculinity, but you haven't. You haven't achieved any masculinity. But do you know what's going on inside your body with the low-dose testosterone at the age of you look like you're 12? This is the danger that's happening. They're incentivizing young people to try this. It's a drug. It is an actual drug, okay? That used to be very difficult to get. That now is so easy to get. Yet, except if you're a man, it's very hard to get. I talk to men all the time. They're like, dude, how do you get the testosterone? I have to go through this whole rigor thing to get the testosterone, and the doctor does all these tests. And I'm like, trust me, dude, it's good they're doing that. But then little Susie goes to Planned Parenthood and in 20 minutes gets testosterone. The whole thing is so backwards and insane. They're indoctrinating young people to do this. They are actually doing it. I believe some kind of experiment.
Let's say it all together. Being trans is not a personality. Being trans is not a personality. Being trans is not a personality. It's an identity.
Oh.
Narcissism, on the other hand, is a personality disorder.
So they're spilling the beans right there, okay? Says the narcissist trans person. Literally, trans is not what is it? I don't even remember, but they're just basically, trans is an identity. They said it right there. Trans is an identity. Narcissism is a disorder. Okay? Actually, trans is a disorder as well as narcissism. So, oh my, that one puts all kinds of crazy stuff out on the internet. They're a they, them, trans person. How can you be a they, them, trans man? Because I thought man was binary, but then they, them is non-binary. You see the twisting and the gaslighting of it all? Of it all. Okay, I guess got a couple more here for you. This one is crazy person.
Another video about the insane toilet situation that now exists.
Yeah,
in
insane.
The UK. I'm getting so many messages from people trying to reassure me, and they're saying, India, don't worry, this will never work because it will mean that trans guys now have to go into the ladies. At which point I've got to say to them, whoa, you're making a fatal mistake here. Trust me, as someone who's been round the block a million times with the gender criticals, you're employing logic. Logic and coherence does not work.
First off, here we go again, using trans guys, okay? Blah. If a trans guy doesn't pass and look like a dude, okay, then you're not going in the men's room most of the time. But even if you don't pass as a butch, I remember being totally a butch chick and going in the men's room and no one cares. So they just love throwing trans men now. The trans women, she's a nutcase. They, him, sorry, I'm not giving them that. Him, nutcase. Total nutcase. The one who hates J.K. Rowling is obsessed with J.K. It's actually obsessively weird and crazy. No, you're not throwing me under the bus. You're the one who brought this on. This is about trans women, okay? It's about dudes. It's not about me, okay? So don't start using me as your, like, now you're trying to reel it all in and, like, using every little example you can get. Sorry, not working. No one cares where I go. They care where you go because it's you who created this insanity around the toilets. I'm going to leave you with a little gift. Okay, this is a little bit of a shorter video today, but I'm going to leave you with a little gift here because I just thought of all of you, and I think you'll be so happy when you see this. Oh my God, I just, like, I had to. I mean, come on. These people are insane. That's some crazy trans woman who created that demure one or whatever. Like, really? Actually, really? I'm laughing at all of you. You are all insane that you encourage people to do this on the internet. You know damn well this person. First off, I don't even know what's going on there. Secondly, why are you encouraging people who are literally obese to do stuff like, I'm not cool with that. I'm not fat phobic, so don't you dare go there. I am healthy. I believe in health consciousness. I believe in putting that forward. I believe in helping people understand how to have a long, successful life. I'm not about pushing that kind of agenda on people. Just go ahead and take testosterone and cut your boobs off and literally, like, go ahead and be 400 pounds. It's literally okay. No, I'm not going to be a part of that because I know damn well that's all a lie and it's not okay. And I'm not going to be part of that lie. And if it hurts your feelings, I apologize. Well, actually, no, I don't apologize. I'm sorry it hurts your feelings. Why don't you look deep inside of why that hurts your feelings, okay? And if you are 400 pounds, I think you need to have a little discussion with your doctor about it because you're not going to live long. And it's not okay that we're pushing all of this stuff as if it's okay. And it's not okay that we're pushing this stuff that anyone can be trans and you don't need gender dysphoria and anyone could go to a doctor and cut their boobs off and just slam testosterone. What's happening? Why are you doing this? What is the long game here? What is the reason? What are you all going to achieve from this? Nothing. I achieved success in my life because I've been honest about myself and my transition. And I'll keep telling you, the people who need to transition, I will always be there for you, okay? But I'm not going to say you can just do it on a whim because some TikToker told you that you can just be trans because I told you could be trans. Well, I'm telling you can't, okay? You can't unless you go through a system of safety. And you can call it gatekeeping, call it that, but you will thank me in the long run when you get old enough to realize that people actually cared about you and didn't. The reason it's like alcoholism or drug addiction, they don't want to do it by themselves. Okay, when you do it to yourself, you're affirming that they're doing the right thing. It's drug addiction. That's why people give you little drugs. Try the coke, try the crack, and then get you hooked. Because it makes them feel better about their own addiction, okay? Those people don't want to be alone doing it. They want to be with other people. So they're giving you that same energy. And I'm not going to give you that same energy because I actually care about you. And if you're actually trans, you'll figure it out when you get old enough to figure it out. Okay? So know that. Tramp cares. I don't care what you all think. Tramp cares. And it's why I continue to do this. Okay? So thanks so much for liking, subscribing, commenting, being part of the channel. I'll see you guys Wednesday on the live. And have a great rest of your day.